15 Intriguing Facts About Joe Rogan. Hello, life theory seekers. Ready for another dive into the life of a fascinating individual who's making waves in our world? Strap in, because today we're journeying into the unique universe of Joe Rogan. From his humble beginnings to becoming a podcasting pioneer, Joe's story is anything but ordinary. In our deep dive, we'll explore Rogan's transformation from a martial artist to a comedian, his unexpected success with the iconic TV show Fear Factor, and the birth of the game-changing podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience. We'll uncover his passion for hunting and his advocacy for ethical meat consumption, and we'll delve into his unconventional role as a UFC commentator. But that's not all. We'll also delve into the controversies he's faced, the massive Spotify deal that revolutionized his podcast, and his undying love for stand-up comedy. His lesser-known involvement in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, his dedication to health and fitness, and his private life will also be part of our journey. Get ready to unravel the intricate tapestry that is Joe Rogan's life, career, and influence. Number 1. The humble beginnings. Joe Rogan's early life. Welcome to the world of Joe Rogan. This titan of talk has been a voice of influence for countless people worldwide through his popular podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience. But before the fame, the success, and the vast impact, Joe Rogan was just a kid from New Jersey, grappling with a complicated family dynamic and seeking his place in the world. Growing up, Joe faced more than his fair share of adversity. His parents divorced when he was just 5 years old, and his father, a police officer, gradually ceased contact with him. This left young Joe and his mother to forge their way forward, relying heavily on each other as they navigated the trials and tribulations of life. An experience that, no doubt, built a reservoir of resilience within Rogan that we see reflected in his persona today. As a teen, Rogan found an outlet in martial arts, dedicating himself to disciplines like karate and taekwondo. Martial arts provided a sense of direction and purpose to Joe's life at a time when he could have easily veered off the path. Little did he know, this commitment to martial arts would open a door to a world of opportunities in the future. But Rogan's early life was not all strife and struggle. He discovered a knack for making people laugh, a talent that would play a pivotal role in his career trajectory. From his high school antics to the stand-up comedy routines that filled the local clubs in Boston, Rogan was honing the raw, unfiltered, and often contentious style that would become his trademark. So, this man, whom millions tune into for enlightenment, entertainment, and everything in between, began his journey in the most humble of circumstances. The lessons he learned, the adversities he overcame, and the passions he nurtured all played a crucial part in shaping the Joe Rogan we know today. Every journey begins somewhere, and for Joe Rogan, it was the streets of Newark, New Jersey, the training rooms of Boston gyms, and the stages of small-time comedy clubs. And what a journey it has been. Number 2. Rogan's transition from martial arts to comedy. Let's dive into one of the most intriguing phases in Joe Rogan's life, his transition from martial arts to comedy. These two realms might seem light years apart, but for Joe, they wove together into a narrative that's as fascinating as the man himself. Martial arts were a major part of Rogan's early life. They taught him discipline, focus, and gave him an outlet for his energy and ambitions. He showed an uncanny knack for it, too, winning the U.S. Open Championship Taekwondo tournament as a lightweight when he was just 19. He even worked as a martial arts instructor during his early 20s. But behind the kicks and the punches, a different passion was simmering. Joe had always been a natural at making people laugh. In high school, he was the class clown, the guy who could always be counted on to lighten the mood with a quick joke. But it wasn't until he moved to Boston and began attending open mic nights that Rogan realized he could turn this talent into a career. The decision wasn't an easy one. Leaving the familiar world of martial arts to venture into the unpredictable and brutal world of stand-up comedy takes a special kind of courage. The fear of bombing, the uncertainty of success, and the relentless grind of the comedy circuit are enough to dissuade most. But not Joe Rogan. His courage, honed by years of martial arts training, powered him through. Embracing the challenge, Rogan poured his energy into his comedy with the same intensity he had once devoted to martial arts. His brutal honesty, sharp insights, and unapologetic style quickly made him a favorite on the Boston comedy scene. This success eventually caught the attention of network scouts, leading to his first big break as an actor on the TV show News Radio. In a surprising twist of fate, Rogan's background in martial arts and his newfound fame in comedy intersected when he landed a gig as an interviewer and color commentator for the Ultimate Fighting Championship, making him a familiar face to millions of viewers worldwide. So, from the disciplined world of martial arts to the unforgiving stages of stand-up comedy, Joe Rogan carved a unique path for himself. And as we know, this was just the beginning of his extraordinary journey. From here, his trajectory only soared higher, paving the way for the Joe Rogan we know today, comedian, UFC commentator, and the host of one of the world's most popular podcasts. Number 3. Fear Factor: Rogan's unexpected television success. Ever thought of eating something unthinkable or participating in a stunt that could give you chills? If yes, then you're on the same wavelength as millions of viewers who were glued to their television sets watching Fear Factor, a reality show hosted by none other than Joe Rogan. In 2001, Joe Rogan's career took an unexpected turn. Known mostly for his stand-up comedy and his role on news radio, Rogan found himself the host of a show that was far from sitcoms or open mics. It was Fear Factor, a reality TV show that dared contestants to confront their biggest fears in exchange for a hefty cash prize. On paper, Fear Factor seemed an unlikely match for Rogan. He was a comedian and a martial arts enthusiast, not a reality TV host. But, as with his transition from martial arts to comedy, Rogan stepped up to the challenge and soon became the face of one of America's most talked about shows. Hosting Fear Factor was unlike anything Rogan had done before. The show revolved around stunts that were designed to terrify contestants, ranging from eating live bugs to performing death-defying feats. It was gritty, it was wild, and it was incredibly successful. Audiences couldn't get enough of the extreme challenges and Rogan's no-nonsense yet hilarious commentary. Rogan brought a unique element to the show. His background in stand-up comedy and martial arts came into play as he provided both comic relief and serious commentary on the physical challenges. His charisma and genuine fascination with the stunts drew viewers in, and his interactions with contestants gave the show a layer of authenticity that audiences loved. Hosting Fear Factor propelled Rogan into a new level of stardom. The show was a massive hit, running for 6 seasons and establishing Rogan as a household name. Despite the show's controversial and, at times, stomach-churning content, Fear Factor opened new doors for Rogan, not only in television but also in other fields where he was able to expand his already varied career. In a world where fear is often hidden away, Fear Factor, with Joe Rogan at the helm, put it front and center, making it an entertainment spectacle. It was a wild ride, one that further showcased Rogan's versatility and his ability to adapt and thrive in the ever-evolving landscape of entertainment. Number 4. The birth of the Joe Rogan Experience, pioneering podcasting. The year was 2009. The world was just beginning to grasp the potential of the internet for content creation, and the podcast was an audio medium just emerging from its nascent stage. Into this digital frontier stepped Joe Rogan with his show, The Joe Rogan Experience, unknowingly pioneering a new wave in podcasting. A black belt in comedy and martial arts, Rogan brought a unique blend of insightful humor and hard-hitting honesty to his podcast. But what set the Joe Rogan Experience apart was not its host credentials, but its format and spirit. In an age where media was often overly curated and conversations were commonly stifled, Rogan's podcast provided a platform for unfiltered, long-form dialogues. The show embodied Rogan's boundless curiosity as he delved into topics as diverse as neuroscience, psychedelics, politics, and comedy. The Joe Rogan Experience soon captured the attention of listeners who craved substantive, candid conversations. Rogan's uninhibited style of hosting and his eclectic roster of guests, from scientists and authors to comedians and UFC fighters, became a draw for audiences tired of traditional, formulaic talk shows. Rogan's willingness to discuss virtually any topic, no matter how controversial, also added a layer of authenticity that audiences found refreshing. But the impact of the Joe Rogan Experience extended far beyond its loyal listener base. It helped shape the landscape of podcasting itself. By turning the spotlight onto long-form conversations in an era of sound bites, Rogan demonstrated the untapped potential of podcasts as a medium for deep, nuanced dialogues. His success became a benchmark, inspiring a multitude of other long-form podcasts and contributing to the growth of the podcasting industry as a whole. Over a decade later, the Joe Rogan Experience remains one of the most popular and influential podcasts around, a testament to Rogan's pioneering vision. The birth of the Joe Rogan Experience was not just a milestone in Rogan's career, it was a game-changer for podcasting, marking a shift towards a more open, diverse, and engaging kind of dialogue that continues to resonate with listeners worldwide. Number 5. Rogan's passion for hunting and advocacy for ethical meat consumption. Delving into the wild and the primitive, Life Theory takes you into the world of Joe Rogan's passion for hunting and his advocacy for ethical meat consumption. A man of diverse interests and complex perspectives, Rogan doesn't shy away from subjects that many find controversial, and his stance on hunting and meat consumption is a prime example. Growing up in urban New Jersey, Rogan was far removed from the wilderness and the primal act of hunting. However, later in his life, he developed a deep connection with nature and the ethical sourcing of food, which eventually led him to take up hunting. Rogan isn't just a weekend hunter looking for sport. He embodies a lifestyle that values the symbiotic relationship between humans and nature. Hunting, for Rogan, is a way to participate in the food chain consciously, a direct counterpoint to the passive consumption habits that dominate in an age of supermarket conveniences. When Rogan hunts an elk in the mountains, he's not only seeking food, he's actively acknowledging and taking responsibility for the life that's given up in the process. It's a worldview that sees hunting as an act of respect for the animal, for nature, and for the cycle of life and death that sustains us all. With his platform, Rogan brings visibility to a type of meat consumption that emphasizes quality over quantity, ethics over convenience. He talks openly about the process of hunting, field dressing, and butchering his meat, encouraging listeners to consider the origins of their food. He advocates for a shift away from the mass production practices that often involve inhumane treatment of animals and environmental degradation, urging instead for a conscious approach to meat consumption. Joe Rogan's passion for hunting and advocacy for ethical meat consumption isn't just a personal quirk. It's an invitation to reconsider our relationship with the food we eat. It prompts us to question how our choices as consumers impact the world around us and to seek more ethical, sustainable options. Through his candid discussions on these topics, Rogan is not just challenging the status quo but also pushing for a future where respect for life and sustainability guide our consumption habits. Number 6. Joe Rogan, comedian, podcaster, and UFC commentator? Delving into the wild and the primitive, Life Theory takes you into the world of Joe Rogan's passion for hunting and his advocacy for ethical meat consumption. A man of diverse interests and complex perspectives, Rogan doesn't shy away from subjects that many find controversial, and his stance on hunting and meat consumption is a prime example. Growing up in urban New Jersey, Rogan was far removed from the wilderness and the primal act of hunting. However, later in his life, he developed a deep connection with nature and the ethical sourcing of food, which eventually led him to take up hunting. Rogan isn't just a weekend hunter looking for sport. He embodies a lifestyle that values the symbiotic relationship between humans and nature. Hunting, for Rogan, is a way to participate in the food chain consciously, a direct counterpoint to the passive consumption habits that dominate in an age of supermarket conveniences. When Rogan hunts an elk in the mountains, he's not only seeking food. He's actively acknowledging and taking responsibility for the life that's given up in the process. It's a worldview that sees hunting as an act of respect for the animal, for nature, and for the cycle of life and death that sustains us all. With his platform, Rogan brings visibility to a type of meat consumption that emphasizes quality over quantity, ethics over convenience. He talks openly about the process of hunting, field dressing, and butchering his meat, encouraging listeners to consider the origins of their food. He advocates for a shift away from the mass production practices that often involve inhumane treatment of animals and environmental degradation, urging instead for a conscious approach to meat consumption. Joe Rogan's passion for hunting and advocacy for ethical meat consumption isn't just a personal quirk. It's an invitation to reconsider our relationship with the food we eat. It prompts us to question how our choices as consumers impact the world around us and to seek more ethical, sustainable options. Through his candid discussions on these topics, Rogan is not just challenging the status quo but also pushing for a future where respect for life and sustainability guide our consumption habits. 7. His controversial stance on psychedelics. Welcome back to Life Theory, where we're delving into the fascinating life of Joe Rogan. Today's topic? His controversial stance on psychedelics. Known for his candidness, Rogan has never shied away from discussing his experiences with mind-altering substances like DMT, LSD, and psilocybin mushrooms. But he's not simply a user. He's become one of the most vocal advocates for the medicinal and spiritual benefits of these substances. Rogan's exploration of psychedelics began out of curiosity, a desire to understand the self and the universe. He views these substances not merely as recreational tools, but as gateways to higher consciousness and tools for self-discovery. His experiences have inspired him to push for the demystification and decriminalization of psychedelics. He argues that they can facilitate profound experiences that open the mind, allow individuals to confront their inner demons, and even spark creativity. Rogan has often invited researchers, authors, and other enthusiasts of psychedelics to his podcast, leading intense discussions on their potential therapeutic use in mental health. He shed light on studies showing the positive impact of these substances on conditions such as depression, anxiety, and PTSD. Of course, this perspective is not without controversy. Critics argue that Rogan's platform and influence can lead to the trivialization of these powerful substances, possibly leading to misuse. They stress the need for controlled environments and professional supervision when dealing with psychedelics. Rogan, however, stands firm in his belief, emphasizing responsible use and acknowledging the need for more research. His advocacy reflects his broader philosophy of open dialogue, self-exploration, and pushing against societal norms. His stance on psychedelics is not about provocation, but about initiating a conversation on an unconventional topic. He urges his audience to question, to research, to remain open-minded. After all, the core of life theory, much like the Joe Rogan experience, is about exploring the myriad facets of human experience and understanding. As we delve deeper into the life of Joe Rogan, this thread of curiosity and questioning continues to weave its way through his multifaceted career and life. Number 8. Advocacy for freedom of speech, controversies and criticisms. Welcome back to another captivating episode of Life Theory. Today, we're delving deeper into the life of Joe Rogan and one topic that never ceases to stir a debate, his unwavering advocacy for freedom of speech. Rogan's life is a testament to his firm belief in the power and importance of unrestricted expression. From his blunt comedy routines to his renowned podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, he provides a platform where ideas can be shared, dissected, and even disputed, irrespective of their popularity. This approach has catapulted him to fame but also thrust him into the midst of several controversies. Rogan's interviews are often a marketplace of ideas, where controversial figures find a space to air their views. Some critics argue that Rogan is enabling harmful ideologies by not challenging his guests enough, giving them free rein to spread misinformation. However, Rogan believes that conversation, even with polarizing figures, is the key to understanding, negotiating differences, and finding common ground. His critics often point out the potential harm in his largely hands-off interview style. They fear that allowing controversial figures to speak freely without real-time fact-checking can lead to the spread of misinformation or harmful ideologies. Rogan, however, counters that it's up to listeners to question, research, and form their own opinions. Joe Rogan's advocacy for freedom of speech extends to his criticism of cancel culture. He believes that shunning individuals for their controversial views is counterproductive, stifling the possibility for growth, understanding, and reconciliation. Rogan has repeatedly used his platform to condemn what he sees as attempts to curb free speech, arguing that open dialogue is a crucial component of societal progress. The debate around Rogan's advocacy for freedom of speech underscores the larger discussion around the limits and responsibilities that come with it. However, one thing is clear: Rogan is committed to fostering a space where ideas can be freely exchanged, tested, and critiqued. As we continue to explore his life, his unwavering dedication to open dialogue remains a defining element of his personal philosophy. Number 9. The massive Spotify deal, reinventing the Joe Rogan experience. Hello, dear listeners. We're back with more exciting tales from the extraordinary life of Joe Rogan. Today, let's dive into one of the most remarkable deals in podcasting history. It's the game changer, the jaw-dropper, the one that left the world buzzing: Rogan's groundbreaking Spotify deal. For a man who has embraced the role of an unconventional trailblazer, Rogan's leap from a free-form, independent platform to an exclusive deal with Spotify was a bit of a surprise. But in true Rogan style, this move was nothing short of revolutionary. In May 2020, Rogan announced that his wildly popular podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, would be moving exclusively to Spotify in a multi-year licensing deal rumored to be worth over $100 million. The move sent shockwaves through the industry, signaling a seismic shift in the podcasting world. Rogan's shift to Spotify was not merely about numbers, it was a powerful statement about the evolving podcast landscape. With this deal, Rogan upended traditional notions of podcasting being a fringe or alternative media. Instead, he positioned it as a major player in the entertainment industry capable of drawing blockbuster deals. this move had its share of challenges. Some fans bemoaned the loss of the video format on YouTube, while others expressed concerns about potential censorship and loss of accessibility. However, Rogan has consistently assured his audience that his show's essence would remain unchanged, promising to continue providing unfiltered and eclectic content. Rogan's Spotify deal is more than just a business move. It's a testament to his meteoric rise and the widespread influence of his platform. From his humble beginnings as a stand-up comedian to becoming the host of one of the most popular podcasts in the world, Rogan's journey is one of continuous reinvention. His massive Spotify deal is a bold reminder that in the ever-evolving media landscape, boundaries are meant to be pushed and norms to be challenged. As we delve further into the intriguing life of Joe Rogan, it's worth considering how this deal will shape the future of his career and podcasting as a whole. Number 10. Rogan's love for stand-up comedy, a career that never ends. Hello, dear listeners. We have spoken at length about Joe Rogan's diverse career path, but today, we want to touch upon the art form that has been at the heart of his journey, stand-up comedy. It's not just a job for Rogan, it's a passion that has been a consistent thread weaving through the tapestry of his multifaceted career. Born in Newark, New Jersey, and later moving to Boston and then to New York, Rogan was deeply influenced by the gritty, honest humor that characterizes East Coast stand-up comedy. It was here that he began to hone his unique style, a blend of raw humor and pointed social commentary that could make people laugh while also making them think. Even as he rose to fame through television shows like Fear Factor and his podcast The Joe Rogan Experience, Rogan never stepped away from the comedy stage. Despite his incredibly busy schedule, he has continued to tour, create new material, and perform regularly at comedy clubs. It's a testament to his commitment to the craft and his love for the immediate, raw connection that stand-up comedy allows with an audience. In Rogan's own words, stand-up comedy is the purest form of self-expression. He believes it's a platform that offers a unique kind of freedom, a place where he can share his uncensored thoughts and explore diverse themes, from personal experiences to cultural critiques. His comedy often pushes boundaries and questions societal norms, reflecting his unfiltered approach to his podcast and commentary roles. From his first comedy special, Joe Rogan, Live, to his latest Netflix special, Strange Times, Rogan has continued to evolve and push the envelope. The combination of his sharp wit, unapologetic style, and unique insights has solidified his place as one of the most distinctive voices in comedy today. Rogan's love for stand-up comedy speaks volumes about his commitment to authenticity and connection. It's a crucial part of his identity, an enduring passion that continues to inspire and influence his multifaceted career. As we continue to explore the intriguing life of Joe Rogan, the influence of stand-up comedy on his life and work remains a fascinating study of his ongoing commitment to truthful and censored expression. Number 11. Exploring Rogan's involvement in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Welcome back, Life Theory family. Today, we delve into an unexpected facet of Joe Rogan's life, his deep involvement in the world of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Far from a passing interest or casual hobby, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is an integral part of Rogan's identity and has helped shape his approach to life. Rogan was introduced to martial arts as a child, beginning with karate and then moving on to taekwondo, in which he excelled, even winning the U.S. Open Championship tournament as a young man. But it wasn't until he was introduced to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu that he found his true martial arts passion. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or BJJ as it's often abbreviated, is a martial art that emphasizes ground fighting and grappling. It's a discipline that requires not just physical strength and agility, but also mental acuity, strategic thinking, and an intimate understanding of human anatomy and leverage. It's an art that reflects Rogan's own approach to life, thoughtful, analytical, and always ready to tackle challenges head-on. Rogan was introduced to BJJ by his friend and fellow comedian Eddie Bravo, and he was instantly hooked. He trained relentlessly, earning a black belt from Jean-Jacques Machado, one of the most respected practitioners and teachers in the world of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Today, Rogan not only practices BJJ for his own physical and mental well-being, but also advocates for its benefits to others, often discussing it on his podcast. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has shaped Rogan in numerous ways. It has taught him discipline, resilience, and the value of continuous learning, principles that are evident in his professional pursuits and personal philosophies. He has often spoken about how BJJ has offered him a unique perspective on the human condition, our strengths, our vulnerabilities, and our endless capacity for growth and transformation. In understanding Joe Rogan's life and his wide-ranging interests, his passion for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu offers a unique lens. It's a testament to his dedication, his desire for personal growth, and his unending curiosity. It's a reflection of his belief in the power of mind and body and the transformative effect of discipline and dedication. As we explore Rogan's world further, the influence of BJJ continues to offer fascinating insights into his character and philosophy. Number 12. Joe Rogan, the fearless interviewer, hosting guests from all walks of life. Step into the realm of life theory as we explore a fascinating aspect of Joe Rogan's multifaceted career, his role as a fearless interviewer on his podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience. Far from conventional, Rogan's interview style is raw, honest, and deeply engaging, allowing him to connect with an eclectic mix of guests from every corner of the human experience. A fighter, comedian, actor, and now a pioneering podcaster, Joe Rogan has mastered the art of navigating challenging conversations. His interviews are renowned for their depth and breadth, delving into complex subjects, controversial topics, and intricate personal stories. Yet Rogan manages these with an impeccable balance of sensitivity and bluntness, revealing perspectives that often lay hidden beneath public personas and mainstream narratives. From political figures, scientists, and artists to fellow comedians and controversial characters, the guests on the Joe Rogan Experience span a spectrum of viewpoints and experiences. Yet, regardless of who sits across from him, Rogan remains unwaveringly curious and respectful, fostering an atmosphere where open dialogue thrives. One of Rogan's distinctive traits as an interviewer is his ability to make his guests feel comfortable and unjudged, paving the way for honest and raw conversations. This approach results in unexpected insights, exposing layers of his guests that are rarely seen in traditional media interviews. In Rogan's studio, walls come down, personas fade, and what remains is a human conversation in its purest form. Another unique aspect of Rogan's interviews is his willingness to challenge his guests, pushing beyond rehearsed responses to stimulate original thought and candid reactions. He's unafraid to venture into the controversial or unpopular, but always maintains a respect for the conversation and his guest viewpoint. In essence, Joe Rogan embodies the spirit of a fearless interviewer. His approach is a testament to the power of dialogue and the exploration of diverse perspectives. As he navigates through tough questions and complex subjects, Rogan continuously reshapes the landscape of interviews and challenges his audience to think deeper and broader. And through it all, he keeps us tuning in, ready for the next revealing conversation on the horizon of the Joe Rogan Experience. Number 13. Rogan's commitment to health and fitness, a lifestyle, not a hobby. Dive into the world of life theory as we delve into a less publicized facet of Joe Rogan's life, his unwavering commitment to health and fitness. While most know him as a comedian, UFC commentator, or a podcast host, few are privy to the extent of his devotion to physical well-being. For Rogan, fitness is not merely a hobby, it's a lifestyle deeply ingrained in his daily routine and personal philosophy. Rogan's approach to health is holistic, considering every aspect of his lifestyle from nutrition to exercise, from mental well-being to rest and recovery. His dedication to maintaining peak physical condition is not motivated by vanity or the pursuit of aesthetics. Instead, it stems from his belief that a healthy body fosters a healthy mind, equipping him with the mental clarity and focus necessary to navigate his diverse professional landscape. His commitment to physical training is deeply rooted in his martial arts background. Having started martial arts in his early teens, Rogan understands the discipline, resilience, and focus required to master physical movements. His training routine includes rigorous workouts and practices in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Taekwondo. These martial arts forms have not only strengthened his physical prowess but have also shaped his mental fortitude, a trait evident in his professional endeavors. Beyond physical exercise, Rogan is also a staunch advocate of a balanced diet and clean eating. He adheres to the principles of the carnivore diet, consuming primarily meat and fish, supplemented by vitamins and nutrient-rich foods. His ethical meat consumption, often sourced from his hunting pursuits, reflects his consciousness of sustainable and responsible dietary habits. Rogan's commitment to health extends to mental and emotional well-being as well. He regularly practices mindfulness meditation, which he credits for increased focus, emotional balance, and mental clarity. In an industry that can be relentlessly demanding, these practices ground him, equipping him with the resilience to tackle challenges head-on. In a nutshell, Joe Rogan's dedication to health and fitness is a testament to his belief in holistic wellness, one that balances the physical, mental, and emotional facets of life. His approach is a valuable lesson for his vast audience, a testament to the adage, "A healthy body truly is a healthy mind." Number 14. The Family Man, a look into Rogan's private life. In a world where personal lives are often as public as professional ones, Joe Rogan stands out as someone who effectively draws a line between the two. For all the openness he displays on his podcast, Rogan remains somewhat reserved when it comes to his private life, specifically his family. But when he does share, it's apparent how profoundly his role as a husband and father shapes him. Rogan is married to Jessica Ditzel, a former cocktail waitress and now a dedicated mother to their 2 daughters. The couple's relationship is one of mutual respect and admiration. Rogan often expresses gratitude for Jessica's supportive presence, crediting her for managing the household and providing a stable environment for their children, despite his demanding career. While Rogan's professional commitments take up a significant portion of his time, he never compromises on his responsibilities as a father. His love for his daughters is palpable in the rare instances he talks about them. Understanding the importance of being present, Rogan actively participates in his daughters' lives, embracing the ups and downs that come with parenting. His experiences as a father have instilled in him a deeper level of empathy and understanding, qualities that resonate with his audience. Rogan also shares a close bond with his stepdaughter, Jessica's daughter from a previous relationship. Despite not being biologically related, he treats her with the same love and affection he showers on his own children, reinforcing the modern reality that families extend beyond biological connections. In his private life, Rogan embodies the essence of a family man. He prioritizes spending quality time with his family, cherishing the ordinary moments that make up their lives. These moments, away from the limelight, help to keep him grounded amidst his career's whirlwind. Joe Rogan's private life paints a picture of a man dedicated not only to his work but also to his family. His love for his wife and children, along with his commitment to being an active participant in their lives, is as much a part of his identity as his professional achievements. It's a reminder that at the end of the day, it's these personal connections that often hold the most value. Number 15. Joe Rogan's legacy, impact beyond podcasting. As we peer into the expansive universe of Joe Rogan, it becomes clear that his impact reaches far beyond the realm of podcasting. Yes, he is a renowned podcaster, but his influence reverberates across several facets of contemporary culture, challenging norms and pushing boundaries. Starting as a comedian, progressing into television hosting, and eventually pioneering in the podcasting world, Rogan's career trajectory is as diverse as it is dynamic. He reinvented himself numerous times, exhibiting an insatiable curiosity and a fearless willingness to chart unfamiliar territories. His openness to explore and share different perspectives, whether via his stand-up routines or on the Joe Rogan Experience, has fostered a culture of conversation that encourages intellectual curiosity and free thought. Moreover, Rogan's influence extends into the world of mixed martial arts. As a commentator and analyst for the UFC, his knowledge and passion have played a crucial role in bringing the sport into mainstream consciousness. Similarly, his advocacy for ethical hunting practices, exploration of psychedelics, and commitment to fitness have ignited discussions and influenced perspectives on these subjects. Beyond his career, Rogan's dedication to personal development and exploration of human potential is inspiring. He promotes a lifestyle of physical health and mental well-being, embodying the belief that life should be a constant journey of learning, growth, and self-improvement. Rogan's life, in many ways, is a testament to the power of authenticity. He stands as an individual unafraid to question, to learn, and to change. His fearlessness in expressing his viewpoints, even in the face of controversy, has sparked conversations that challenge societal norms and inspire critical thinking. He is proof that one person's voice, when projected with authenticity and resilience, can indeed make waves. To put it simply, Joe Rogan's legacy extends beyond his achievements in podcasting or his contributions to comedy, MMA, or any specific field. His true impact lies in his ability to incite thought, encourage dialogue, and challenge the status quo, fundamentally influencing how millions perceive and engage with the world around them. It's this remarkable legacy that secures Rogan's place as a pioneering cultural influencer in the 21st century. And there you have it, Life Theory Seekers, an exciting exploration into the world of Joe Rogan. His life is a testament to the beauty of curiosity, the power of authenticity, and the impact of a single voice. His journey from martial arts to comedy, his revolutionary impact on podcasting, and his influence in areas like hunting, health, and MMA show us that a life lived authentically can touch countless aspects of the world. In the end, Joe Rogan is not just a podcaster, a comedian, or a commentator. He's a cultural force that challenges norms, ignites discussions, and encourages us all to think deeper and live authentically. His legacy is a ripple effect, moving beyond podcasting and permeating our culture in profound ways. Thank you so much for joining us on this fascinating journey. Remember to always stay curious, to keep learning, and as Joe Rogan himself would probably say, to keep exploring the extraordinary potential within you. Keep on rising, life theory seekers, until our next exciting adventure.